Copy? Akshay, great day out there. Before we get into your round, I need to know from one lefty to another, the third into the last. I kind of saw that limb. There was a lot of conversations. Was that a flighted, cut sandwich into the last? Walk us through that.
Yeah. I mean, if I was 4 yards back of our number, I would have had no problem. And instead, I was 4 yards closer. And so I was just trying to hit it 30 feet right. And I just kind of played it back in the stance with a 50-degree over the face. And, I mean, it barely missed the tree, obviously. But very fortunate obviously, to get the number right. And for that wind to be off the right, too. It just kind of helped with the side spin.
When you have an extra 3 months, you're going to have to teach me that one. Okay, what happened last night, or did you find a thought? Because yesterday we have you 97th in strokes gained approach to the green. Today, you're projecting second. Did you find something after the round yesterday? Did you just have good numbers? Did you find a feel?
Honestly, felt about the same. I think, when you get out here and you get off to a pretty good start, which I did yesterday, you can kind of start playing more and more conservative. Just because you know how important it is that to make pars on certain holes, and so I honestly felt like the same. I'm pretty annoyed. I made a bogey with a 9-iron. That was my first bogey of the tournament, and so all in all, it's all the same, and it's just been an intense focus kind of week for me. I feel like that was my goal to start the week, and it takes so much to win golf tournaments, especially the Players Championship, and so I just got to carry that mentality, these next couple of days.
Before we let you go, I've had a lot of players this week tell me, some of the lines here are just awkward. They just can't make it fit their golf eye, so to speak. I'm thinking of this from a left-handed perspective. Who likes to move the golf ball right to left? I'm thinking about back 9 coming home. 10, 11, 12 if we put the tee up, which we'll eventually see. 14 cutting it off the moguls on the right. 16, 18. This back 9 got to fit your eye pretty good, no?
Yeah, I think last week was a blessing in disguise almost to miss the cut, because I was able to have my coach come, back to Jupiter, and I went a completely different route with my driver. Went back to my older head, changed the shaft, and it just has been such a relief for me, because I feel like the driver's just kind of been the whole big thing holding me back, and so I do feel like a lot of these tee shots do fit my eye, and I don't really have much fear when I feel like I'm swinging it well, minus one shot today. So it's a good feeling. This golf course, like I said, it's one of the best I think we ever play, and it takes a lot of strength to kind of just hit the shots that you need to.
We're not supposed to cheer anybody, but lefties stick together. Go get it tomorrow, Akshay.
Thank you.
So what were the adjustments? Sorry?
No, you're good.
What were the adjustments with the driver?
Yeah, I just went back to my older driver, and then I went back to a shaft I played 4 years ago, and it's a little longer, and so it's kind of been a nice recipe, and then working pretty hard on technique, have a good feel this week with my coach, and I also feel like I put a mini driver in play this week, which has been a nice attribute to some of the awkward holes for me when I need to turn it left to right. So just kind of a nice setup for me this week.
You were known for kind of that controlled cut off the tee. Had you been trying to do something different off the tee this season?
No, I just some of the newer drivers are a little more fade bias, and so the more and more I get wind off the right, or trees in the start line, the more and more it's like, man, I feel like I have nowhere to kind of hit it. And so this one's a little more, I would say, right bias, but still has a little bit of fade just because the loft is down. And so I've played it for a long time, and I just go back to kind of what I trust.
Akshay, you see your name up there, Minwoo, to more of the kind of younger Gen Z type names on tour. What do you think of kind of the wave of young players coming out and your success alongside all of them?
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. Obviously, we had probably the youngest group in Players history with me, Nick, and Tom, and so it's pretty amazing how young golf is getting and how many young players there are, and so it's refreshing to see. I feel like we're kind of the next generation of the Rorys and the Scotties, and obviously Tiger's way up there, but I think it's really cool, and for PGA Tour U to do what they do, and for all three of us to have different kind of paths to the PGA Tour is really cool.
Yeah, you're seeing, I guess, some of the guys that you competed against in like elite amateur events and junior events. What is it like, kind of coming all back together on the PGA Tour?
Yeah,
Seeing familiar faces.
It's really cool. It's funny, I missed 4 years of school, and so when I see, Carl, who just won last week, and Michael, it's just fun. I'm like, how was school? Did you enjoy it? And so it's really cool. Like, I feel like we all knew we were gonna be here at some point. We obviously played the AJGA event here, and I think there was a handful of people that I knew would make it out here, and so it's really, really cool. And it's nice to have people that are my age that I can kind of relate to a little more.
What's the swing feel?
Yeah, I typically we call it like a lawnmower feel, like start where I get like really fast, very draggy, and so it's kind of like a counter rotation with my hips to get the kind of the club more on plane, and so it's definitely a hard feel when, especially the more and more I get going, the more and more I want to go faster and faster, and so I've been doing that the last couple days and shortening my backswing with my driver. My speed's been getting faster and faster, and so I don't necessarily need to get, longer at the top.
Are you doing specific things to get faster?
No, I mean, I'm working out, more and more on the road. I just hired a trainer who I think is really smart with how we're training week to week. Definitely eating more consistently on the golf course and also at home. And so it's just, I'm trying to be more of an athlete now versus, and I know what it takes to kind of be at the top. So that's, always a learning curve every year. And so it's nice to have people on my team that can benefit.
Was there a point where you learned that you had to kind of make that change?
Yeah, I mean, last year I did a nice job for 6-7 months, and then the last, 4 months it was kind of always getting table treatment or, just recovery stuff, and so it's a fine balance because you don't want to feel too tired, but you also need to get the work in, and, I go into the gym all the time and see Rory and just see what he's doing. He's obviously one of the best drivers and one of the longest, and his body's held up for such a long time, and so, there's a lot of motivation there when you see, guys like that all the time just pumping weight.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.